Hello, everybody. It's your boy WEEZYFMAMBA, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys once again so much for being here. We really appreciate it. On today's video, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to be discussing the most famous question that we get all the time. Can blank dethrone DBD? Blank being, I hit my mic, sorry. Blank being whatever game that we're discussing at the point. Can it finally dethrone Dead by Daylight? And that is what we are going to be discussing today with Halloween the game. So you're going to ask again, does Halloween the game have what it takes to dethrone Dead by Daylight? We're going to go ahead and break some shit down, give you our thoughts on yes, why, maybe, no, etc. You know the deal. Popping over. Let's take a look. Let's have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and go cameraless on this side here, simply because today we're going to be discussing the forever asked question, okay? Will blank finally be the game? Will Halloween be the game to dethrone Dead by Daylight from the top? If you've lived under a rock for the past 9 years and have never heard of Dead by Daylight, I'll go ahead and give you some statistics and a synopsis about the game right now, okay? Dead by Daylight is one of the first asymmetrical horror games to ever exist, dropping way back in 2016. And over the course of the last 9 years, Dead by Daylight has accumulated over 60 million players. People will ask how this came about with a game that has infinitely boring gameplay loops of fixing generators, looping killers, running in circles, broken perks, unfair game mechanics, and pay-to-win killer DLC. The answer is simple. The ability for Behavior to acquire some of the most legendary horror IPs, as well as many others of all time. All of the licensed IPs that have been implemented into DBD are as follows. Halloween, Left 4 Dead, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Saw, Ash vs. Evil Dead, Scream, Stranger Things, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Hellraiser, The Ring, Resident Evil Project W, Nicolas Cage, for fuck's sake, Alien, Child's Play, Rainbow Six Siege is even in here, as well as Crypt TV and Attack on Titan. We also have Alan Wake. We even have a collaboration with rock and roll legends Iron Maiden and Slipknot, which is licensed. Dungeons and Dragons, Tomb Raider, Castlevania, Tokyo Ghoul, FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's, and of course, most recently, The Walking Dead. Ladies and gentlemen, there is so much that has gone into this. And like I said, even with Slipknot and Iron Maiden, that is a massive IP or a massive licensed collaboration with two of the biggest rock bands, metal bands of all time, which undoubtedly you've seen people wearing the Iron Maiden shirt all the time in DBD. It's just one of those things, man. And Tomb Raider is not really horror, right? So you would consider that action adventure. There's so many things that have gone into this. And just collaborations in general, man. So those horror IPs have really helped out. Everything that I just mentioned is also accommodated alongside Behavior's original characters, lore, stories for both Survivor and Killer side. Dead by Daylight really, honestly, is like the Fortnite of horror. But yeah, with all that being said, the outside point of view is that there is no possible way that Dead by Daylight could be dethroned. While this may positively be the case, on the contrary, there's always a slight chance, you know? And as me, as Wheezy F Mamba, I'm gonna go ahead and play this. I believe that Halloween the game has the highest chance, since this question has been dawned upon us with all previous asymmetrical releases. I believe Halloween the game has a chance to compete with DBD for many, many years. And I'm going to tell you why here in just a minute. To give you an example, the previous asymmetrical titles that we have asked this question on, can we dethrone DBD? Last year, VHS, Evolve, Secret Neighbor, KKFOS, okay, Killer Clowns, Friday the 13th, Evil Dead the Game, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre have all subsequently failed in the broad scheme of the word, even though many consider that Friday the 13th, Evil Dead the Game, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre are all better games than Dead by Daylight. The consensus of what made them fail is, of course, the usual go-to of an incompetent development team / publisher. Gun Interactive, Ilphonic, and Saber Interactive have garnered mixed reviews as developers ever since they formed. And well as the other consensus that people come to is the fact that the IPs that were developed by these games were a singular IP, meaning only dealing with one franchise, which in no way could possibly compete with Dead by Daylight's formula of multiple franchise IPs. 30 of them, to be exact, at the time of me making this video. Okay? And so now you guys are going to ask me, why do I think Halloween the game has a chance to dethrone Dead by Daylight? Well, the answers are simple. The Halloween franchise, like I've said multiple times in the last few weeks, the Halloween franchise is single-handedly the biggest horror IP of all time, and it's not even fucking close. Okay, which will garner a massive player base just off the name itself. One of the biggest reasons, the implementation of that single-player campaign that we all cannot fucking wait to play, will undoubtedly bring in thousands, if not hundreds, of thousands of players just for the single player mode alone. Okay, there are multiple people out there that play video games that hate multiplayer and only will buy single player titles. This will create a wave of people buying this game just for the single player mode. The heavy involvement with the original creator, John fucking Carpenter. Not only is he the GOAT, he's also an avid gamer and knows what the gaming world wants. He's been working on this project for multiple years. Okay? The fact that he games too is crazy and is so dope. And it's well known of how big of a gamer he is. The redemption arc. Okay? Why is Halloween going to be bigger or compete with Dead by Daylight? The redemption arc. And you're going to ask, what the fuck are you talking about? Hey, it's no secret that Gun and Ilphonic have struggled with live service games, but undoubtedly have absolutely cooked when it comes to gameplay, staying true in detail to the source material, as well as being extremely knowledgeable and well-known horror heads. Okay? This is not a development team that creates action shooters and is dipping their toes into horror. This is a horror team now going on over a decade. Okay? Over a decade of creating horror content. The redemption arc. We know what Gun just went through with TCM. We know what Ilphonic just went through with Ghostbusters as well as KKFOS. This is something that they can absolutely positively bring positivity back to their company. And I guarantee you, the fact that they had the Halloween IP land in their fucking laps that they are not going to fuck this up. This is going to be their baby. The one. The only. The fact that we also have everything, every team on IllFonic is on the project. Okay? This isn't just IllFonic having 15 people working on Halloween. This is 300 plus employees from all of the studios, all in. It's dope as fuck, and I really, really think that it's going to be a big time. And last but not least, for me, finally, DBD's disastrous last few months, the last few updates, including the 9th anniversary, buggy, unbalanced, bad takes, has forced many people to stop playing Dead by Daylight. One of the biggest ones is doesn't even have to deal with gameplay. It's their stance on the creator program. They announced a creator program back in, I believe, June. They said it would take 6 weeks for us to reach out to everybody. Not a single person has received an email yet. Okay? And it's fucking September. Right? Okay? And this is proven. There's a lot of people that say, I cannot believe that we are bailing after getting all small content creators' hopes up and doing this. DBD is still a powerhouse, but there's a lot of people dipping out. And I believe Halloween will start bringing people back again to the horror side. Now, I'm going to look at it this way. Does this guarantee that Halloween will kill DBD? No. In fact, it's ridiculously unlikely. I don't think Halloween is going to kill DBD ever. I think Dead by Daylight will be prevalent no matter what. But you have to look at it as when new games drop and like, will Halloween bring an entirely new generation of players that will also alongside play Dead by Daylight? Look at it this way. When Overwatch 2 dropped and then they had disastrous updates, Marvel Rivals dropped basically an essential clone, very, very similar to Overwatch style games. Rivals shot to the top of the world. And now Overwatch and Marvel Rivals are neck and neck when it comes to player count, right? So it's one of those things that you really just kind of have to think of. Can Halloween and DBD coincide in the same universe? Yes. Simply because of all the things that I mentioned, that we talked about. At the end of the day, I don't want this game to bury Dead by Daylight. I like playing DBD. And I know that you, who doesn't like playing DBD, doesn't want a game to bury a game and essentially make multiple people unemployed. Like, that's not who you are, right? So, I don't know. This is really a run-of-the-mill, run-of-the-whip video I decided to throw up to make up, because I really had that question in my mind from a lot of people as well in the chats. Do you think that it's going to kill DBD, the DBD killer, yada, yada? So we really kind of wanted to break down the powerhouse that this is going up against, but also Michael Myers, the king, the GOAT, as you see. Will he be able to compete? And that's all I got today. What do you guys think? Okay. Do you think that Halloween the game, with everything that we talked about, maybe there were some scenarios that you thought of that I didn't think of to put in the video? Let me know down in the comments what you think. Because, you know, I really want to know people's opinions on this matter. Okay. We're ready, man. We're so ready for this fucking game. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Will Halloween compete with DBD? Yes or no? All right. And tell me why. Also, don't forget to drop a sub, drop a like, drop your noties on, man. Put your goddamn notification bell on, all right? What are you doing? All right? That way you guys get notified every time I go live here on YouTube and anytime that I bring you brand new Halloween news. I fucking love you guys. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.